Hello. Hi, everybody. It's Jess. So, today is going to be a really short video. I just sort of wanted to get on here and just give my tips for your internship interview and what to expect during that. I've had a few interviews, and I'm just gonna say, so it really kind of took me by surprise the type of interviews that they are and like how they function and such. I wasn't necessarily ready. I have gotten an offer, but I just wasn't 100% prepared, like mentally, to know like what to expect. So I just want to tell you a little bit about my experience, and then hopefully it can help you as you go forward looking for interview or internships and kind of what to expect during these types of interviews. So the types of internships I was going for were more so, applied applications. So talent specialist, anything with IO, or I don't think I dabbled too much with HR. I didn't really want to do anything with that. I did interview for a junior consulting position, and that's more so in line with what I want to do and where I want to go forward with. So that really worked out for me getting that interview. That's ultimately the internship I was offered. But I just want to tell you guys like how the experience was, okay? Because I did have an interview with Amazon, and that did not go too well because I just was not prepared. The type of questions I was prepared for was more so, tell me about yourself. Why do you want to work here? Strengths, weaknesses, things like that. And that is just not how that interview went. Really what they wanted to know was my experiences and talking a lot about my experiences and specific projects that related to the position. So I think this one was like a talent specialist or something like that. And I had those experiences, don't get me wrong, but I didn't go through those experiences and like really like flesh out what I did. So I wasn't able to properly communicate when put on the spot, like on demand, as to what it was that I feel I could bring to the table and such. So that's really the main thing I kind of want you guys to know, is that they're going to ask you about your experiences, and they want very specifics about your experiences. Like, what did you do? What was you responsible for? How did that pan out? With this most recent interview that I had and position I was offered, this was pretty much a two-part interview series. The first part had to deal with more so, tell me about yourself. And here I really did just give a gist of my experiences. And that's all I did, just gave a gist of my experiences. But the second round of interview was actually me presenting in like my experiences. So it was like I had to do a presentation like that. I was presenting to a client, but I was more so doing it for the interviewer, because this interviewer wanted to see, how do I speak? How do I talk? How do I properly bring about the information and such. And I also got slipped up in that interview as well. Like during that whole presentation, even though I prepared for that, I slipped up there too, because I did get asked a question that I just wasn't able to answer because I hadn't thought about it in that sense. And it was more so a question of, so think about the way this presentation was structured. I was getting to a client, and one thing that I didn't, oh wait, it says okay, sorry. It says I was unconnected or something, whatever. So I'm back. But anything, so I had to give a presentation to a client, and it was on a proposal. We were doing a proposal, a bid in a sense. And the one question I didn't put on there, the one thing is, why should you hire us, type of thing. And I never thought about putting that on there, because it was for a class project, but it was still a real live proposal. So if the client wanted to go through with that, we would actually be doing this proposal. So that's one thing I didn't think about, like, that's, and when I was asked that question during the interview, I was just honest. I was like, wow, I really hadn't thought about that. And in a little way, I did kind of think about it, because we are science providing data recommendations and evidence-based. We're not just going to give you anything, and that's kind of our leverage. We look into the literature, we look at the research, but I did not properly communicate that. And I think one of my things is that I kind of take that for granted. I believe that it was probably a little bit of ignorance on my behalf that, I believe, like I'm coming from a research standpoint, and I'm thinking that the client knows that, but they don't know that. So that's one thing that kind of slipped me up. That is what makes us different. And that's one thing that I really did not communicate during that presentation. And she told me that. And I was very thankful for that. So just be ready for some feedback, be ready for some, and they're going to be looking at how you take feedback. Don't get defensive, accept it, because at the end of the day, they're coming from a position, like they don't know you, and they're just coming from a position of trying to help you and such. So just accept the feedback, because obviously your ideas were not conveyed properly if they don't really understand what's going on. So that's kind of what happened with me, in a sense that I didn't properly explain some of my ideas, and then also, I didn't necessarily explain why they should hire me in a sense. But sorry, not hire me, but for that proposal project, because like I just said, I was doing that to the interview. She just wanted to see how I present, and she kind of just gave me some tips and feedback for next time for when I do go forward with proposals and such. And I did end up getting that position, offered that position, and she did know. She liked the way I responded to feedback and such. So keep that in mind. Like, you don't necessarily have to know everything, and that's just how it is. You're not going to know everything. So, if they ask you questions, you trip up, you don't know what to say. Just, I really don't know what to say. I could have came up with something, but it just wouldn't have came across right. It would have been sometimes I'm just one of those people. If I don't know, I'm not going to sit here and act like I know. I'm going to tell you what I know and then go from there and tell you, I'm not 100% sure on this, X, Y, and Z. But really, my main advice, like I just previously said, is know your experiences and be prepared to, like, on demand, present your experiences in a sense. Like, if they ask you, well, pretend I'm the client, how would you give me this information, X, Y, Z? Be ready for that, because that's going to come your way. And then they're also going to ask you, well, specifics about your experiences. And that's pretty much from my experience, that's pretty much the main thing that it's been about, is your experiences. It hasn't, those questions about your strengths and your weaknesses, I'm not sure if other companies do that. I haven't had that experience with the internships. So I don't know, but hopefully that can help you guys. I'm just, that's just my advice. Like I said, I did get offered. It's a nice offer. So, but anyways, y'all, so please like, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.